Hello, this is Uhasa, and today we're making a fully in-depth guide on the new battle drill Spider Wasteland. There are creators who have made guides already, but this one I would say is really in-depth compared to the ones that I've seen so far. So let's get into a quick TLDR. There are three camps. You see two in the bottom, so this is the left, this is the right, and this is the top one. So the top one's called Sunfire Keep, left one's called Howling Fortress, right one's called Frontier Base. And what you need to know is that you can break this map into two stages. So the first half, like the bottom half, which is taking about 2/3 of the map, is what I consider stage 1, and then this upper part here is stage 2, where you face like 6 strongholds and then the final boss, the Grim Executioner. Now, we're going to talk about buffs quickly as well. So the buff choices are very, very important here, and there is arguments for one or either, but it really kind of depends on how strong your guild is overall. We'll talk about that in a second. For hero choices, you start off with 10 heroes as usual, and you want to have, for the bottom camps, you want to have one clearing, like Eironn clearing teams, AoE damage teams, and magic damage teams. As for the top camp, you just want one magic damage dealer team, 2 magic damage dealer teams if possible, and 1 true damage dealer team. So that's a quick summary of what you need to do, but I'm gonna go in depth starting now. So we're gonna take a look at the pathing here for stage 1. So this is the Discord that I have, and I made a written guide for my guild, but I'm sharing it with you here as well. So you can see there are 3 camps here. So the top is pink, left is red, right is blue. So for the top camp, it's really important that you have your 6 strongest players in your top camp, and only the 6 strongest. So that means they are the whales or leviathans, because you see in the top camp there's a buff that you acquire immediately, and this is anyone who has Supreme Plus heroes and X weapon level 15 or higher, they will receive a 250% damage boost. So 250% plus 50% is 300% damage boost, and it makes a really big difference. So this is the key to, like, whoever's in here, they will decide your map clearing speed. Let's just put it like that. Yeah. I've heard stories of guilds where like people who didn't read, they just decided to just join the top camp, and you can't kick them out unless you kick them out of the guild. Yeah. Okay. Now, so with the top camp, you want your strongest players, and they're going to push down. Let's go back to the map. They're going to push down to Shadow Eironn. So they're going to take Shadow Eironn by themselves, and then going down to meet Marilee, Shadow Marilee. In the left, the red, they're going to go up. There's a buff tower here, and then they're going to not go here. They're going to go number 2, 3, and 4 to Shadow Marilee. On the bottom right, same thing, just the parallel, like opposite. They're going to go to the buff tower here, 2, 3, and then 4. So the goal of all camps is to meet at Shadow Marilee and unite. And this way you're going to have a united path where all the guild members together, and they can attack simultaneously. Once you're at number 4, you're gonna head down to the left side, and you're gonna clearly see these 96 passageways. And I used to think that this statue here was actually, like, it says it's a stronghold, so I assumed it was like a massive boss. But actually, I was quite off the mark. There's actually no monsters, which is what I was confused about, and it just says you clear the path to capture the stronghold. And so when you to clear the path, it just means you clear 96 passageways, 96 passageways, and then you get a plus 20 stat bonus. And then you do the other side. So yeah, I think, like, some early videos, they recommended to path, like, to just meet up at Marilee and then leave these two for last, and then you just go up, left, 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 right, right, right. But the issue with that is you're clearing 36 passageways for a 5 plus 5 stat bonus, compared to a plus 20 stat bonus when you're clearing 96. So if you do the math, you know, this is much better. So 96 for plus 20 levels versus 36 for plus 5. Okay, so moving back to this. Okay, so that's the plan for stage 1. Okay, and then the pathing for stage 2, once you've cleared everything, it looks like this. We'll come back to this in a second. We'll go in depth into stage 1. So we're looking at the buffs. The buff choices are really important. So like I said before, the top camp automatically gets their own buff. The buff on the left camp, after you take on these guards and you destroy the stronghold, you have 2 choices. You have True Potential, which increases all allies damage dealt by 150% in elite stronghold battles, and Trailblazer, which is 250% damage, bonus damage in passage brawls. So there is a couple things, options you can do. So you can tell all your guild members to go for True Potential. Like the first 12 people, they can go True Potential, so they deal more damage in stronghold battles. And so when they're climbing up towards Marilee, these two, it's much easier to destroy. But I am opting to go for everyone to go Trailblazer, because I've seen people one-shot these small towers, and even if you can't one-shot, you can at least, like, 2-shot, 3-shot, maybe 4 shots. Like, it wouldn't take too long to destroy these towers. And I feel like, especially for weaker guilds, like, that means, like, guilds, like, not every member is a whale, then I think it's better to take on the passage brawl, especially because there's so many passages to take on. So you have 96, like, you have like 200 here, or more than 200 here, and they have 36 times 6, which is like another around 200 something. So that's like 400 something passageways. So I believe people will benefit much more from the passage brawl buff. They say that there's been some testing done already with the whale guilds and the servers that have already done this or are doing this now. And yeah, for weaker guilds, I believe that you should take on the Trailblazer buff. For the right camp, when you clear off this stronghold, you have a choice of Eironn Resolve or Hot Pursuit. Okay, so Eironn Resolve gives you bonus 250% damage when you're facing you're facing more than 4 enemies. So A lot of people got confused between the wording here, because if you take a look at the whole map, there's only like a few places that actually have five-man five-man battles. So you have the buff towers, which doesn't count because you have to defeat the tower before you can acquire the buff. And then it's this one, and I think there's one here as well. But look at this. Look at where they are. So the right camp won't be able to take advantage of this buff because the pink one's gonna take this one, and the left one, red one's gonna take these two. So where are they gonna use the buff unless you're gonna save it or it passes on to the next map? Which, by the way, a lot of guilds aren't going to be able to finish this map. Okay, so that's why everyone should opt for Hot Pursuit, and Hot Pursuit is bonus 150% damage when you have 2 or fewer enemies. So there's quite a few of them, and there's one here, and there's one here, here, and here. Okay. All right. So that's what's gonna happen. And then when all 3 camps are linked, so going back to this, when all 3 camps are linked at Marilee, that means you can take the other buffs on the other side. So left camp can take the right camp buffs, right camp can take the left camp buffs, and the top camp can take both. Okay, and I recommend the same buffs as what I just said before. Okay, so everyone should be taking Trailblazer, everyone should be taking Hot Pursuit, and that's it. Okay. Alright, so that's pretty much it for round stage 1. Now moving on to stage 2. So everything should be cleared at the bottom half now, and you're all together. And then this is the order that I recommend you go in: 7, 8, 9. So, and then 10, 11, 12, like this. The reason being is because, remember what I just told you before, 7, 8, and 9, they are the 2-man strongholds. And everyone has this 2-man stronghold buff. So everyone will do bonus damage when taking on these strongholds. So that means you're going to clear these towers faster, therefore get the stat bonuses faster. Okay? And then that means when you're going against these 4-man towers, which you don't have buffs with, you will be benefiting from the capture bonuses. And then you're going to take on these 4-man buffs, and then you can take on the boss. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to talk about specifically what the camps are doing, what heroes you should be taking, and specific details and data on this. So with the left camp and right camp, you want to take these heroes from top to bottom, left to right, in this order of importance. And that means if they're Supreme Plus and they're invested somewhat, so +5, +10, take them, bring them with you. I think everyone should have these as Supreme Plus by now, and you're aiming for groups of 3 because you want a good mix of teams that can clear the passageways very quickly. And remember, when you're clearing passageways, you want to finish before the 60-second mark to get the maximum bonus stamina recovery back. So everyone should have an Eironn team, and then these three are more. These two are AOE. Corrin, Marilee, and Kruger and Vala are good for true damage, and Kruger is a debuffer. Remember to not use Vala in boss battles unless they're less than 50% HP, because only then will she be dealing true damage. Okay. If you have a Dino, if it's invested, well, like then you should get it. Anyway, so this is the order or recommendation that you should go, and then once everyone is united, then you go to work together to go to number 5 onwards. Okay, now with the top camp, you shouldn't be going for clearing teams like passageway teams, because you're going to be fighting Shadow Eironn very, very quickly, and then the next boss is Shadow Marilee. So you want to get two strong teams. One is the magic team, and then the other one is probably going to be a true damage team, unless you have a second magic team, but whichever's stronger and more well invested. The second team, oh actually let's talk about the first team first. So the first team, this has been shown to be tried and true, so they are very, very strong against all the bosses. They work very well, and you generally want to have Cassidy, Smokey, and Rainier, and Odie as your core, and then some people just swap between Elsa and Talene depending on your investments. Elsa would do very, very good damage, and Talene has been very, very popular, and she does very, very strong damage. Now your true damage team, because of the kit of Eironn and Marilee and the boss, they are quite highly resistant against physical damage dealers, which is why you want to take true damage dealer heroes. So Scarlita, Marilee, Corrin, and Vala do true damage. Now Citrana is here because she's magic damage as a 5th slot, like just a flex spot. But I think reflecting, you can have these first four plus a healer. Yeah. And then for your third team, it's just these are just lists of they're not B or C tier or anything like that. It's just a list of the other heroes who do magic damage, and you should be thinking about who is more invested. Okay. Obviously, plus 15s are your highest priority targets. Bring them into your list of heroes, because they are the ones who are going to do 250%, 300% bonus damage. They are the ones who carry you. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to talk about Shadow Eironn. So Shadow Eironn has 3 abilities. He has Verdant Cyclone, which everyone knows. So he doesn't stun, he immobilizes. Okay. So what that means is he just locks you in place, but you can still attack, and you can still do abilities. Now these two are different. He gains Shadow Shield, he gains a shield, and he dodges all the physical damage. And the only way to break that shield is through magic damage then. And once his shield is broken, he will be stunned. And then this ice spike thing is just dealing AoE damage and reducing the enemy's magic defense, because Eironn deals magic damage. Okay, so that means he is obviously more prone to magic damage, and the comps earlier, these are the ones you want. Okay, same thing with Marilee. Okay, so Marilee is ulti is Shadow Shot, so she'll jump to a distant place, and then she will reduce everyone's energy and gains physical defense. So again, that's why you want magic teams and true damage teams. She does that thing where if there are no enemies surrounding her, then she'll gain bonus attack and attack speed, which is why in the first composition you have Rainier, who would teleport either Odie or Talene in front of her face, so that she can't activate that skill. And lastly, she has Mighty Arrow. This is the really annoying ability where every 2 normal attacks she will stun someone. And so usually whoever you popped into Marilee's face, so if you pop Odie or Talene, she will usually just stun them a lot. And so you'll see them deal less damage. So that's why it's quite an aggressive, no tank kind of composition. But one of them will get stunned, so that leaves the other one open to dish out damage. Okay, and as I said before, remember, this is the first team is really tried and true. It works really well. No one's found a really amazing second team yet. So these are the team composition examples that you might want to use. So all of them are evocation, and yeah, so you want Smokey, like you see the ones with Smokey. Smokey is usually in front because that way he can cover everyone, and he can like when he goes into the blue aura, the attack one, he can attack the enemy too. Cassidy and Rainier are debuffers. And they reduce the enemy's magic defense and defenses in general, and so that leaves the damage dealers, so Odie and Alsa and Smokey, to deal a lot of damage. In the first one, Rainier is teleporting Odie, and this composition is for people who don't have a Talene invested. For people who do have a Talene invested, then you can teleport Talene in. And yeah, again, remember, plus 15 heroes, they will be doing the most damage. So this one has, so these are just with Talene and just mixing and matching. This one has Scarlita. I've heard Scarlita is so, like, it's okay. Like in terms of damage, it's not the best. Like Talene and Odie seem to be doing the most, and Marilee can dish out damage too, but it's looking more like Odie and Talene this time. Okay, and this is another one, just if you have maybe like a second team, but for this one you might want to swap out one of these people for a healer, considering that, you know, they do dish out damage. Okay, these are examples that I've seen from the Analytica Discord. People have kindly shared their replays, not specifically to me, just to the public on the server. So we're gonna watch one now. This is from Harty, and he has the Talene comp. So you can see Rainier teleports Talene in front, and then off they go. So you can see no one's really getting hurt or dying, but keep in mind this person has like paragons and they're like 4-star, 5-star. So I don't know what it would be like. Um, oh, there's my sound. Yeah, I don't know what it would be like for guilds like mine and people like me uh, who have spent less in the game or like not much in the game. So it's going to be quite challenging for all guilds, like 95% of the guilds, 90% of the guilds, just because of the difficulty. And but it's okay. Like as time passes, like this battle drills will be here for the rest of the season. So as time passes, it should become easier, hopefully. Okay, so all camps from now on are working together, or they should have been working together after Marilee. And then you just follow in this order. And once you finish all of this, you reached the Grim Executioner. Okay, so let's take a look at the Grim Executioner. From what we can see, Cursed Bindings, so makes one target, like the weakest, they can't move and can't act, or deal damage. And if you have Talene here, they will most likely target their Talene because Talene's always continuously losing HP. And so she won't be able to dish out as much damage if she wasn't stunned, obviously. Eternal Confinement, so this is an execute, so that if you reach a certain threshold, which people have found to be 25% HP or less, they will die automatically, and Grim Executioner, the boss, will gain stats. The last one is Spectral Shackles, so this is kind of like a Thorin, where they go to sleep, absorb enemies' power, and they deal massive damage. So you must bring at least one healer. So again, the first team is like A-OK, is great. The second team, you need to have a healer. So have someone like Damien or Ludovic. Okay, and that's pretty much it. And I wish you all the best in your battle drills, and remember, it's okay if your guild doesn't do well. You will have more chances. Okay, alright, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you have, please comment, like, subscribe, and yeah, let me know how you guys go, or if you have any questions, just comment. Okay, see you.